Legend of Exorcism. Chapter 57. Clear sky after snow. Dear. Lu Su immediately said. Everyone turned to look at him. Amorigin remembered that when he had first met Lu Su he had heard him mention dear. But Lu Su was surnamed Lu, and after saying it for so long during the entirety of their journey, Amorigin still didn't know if he was muttering his own surname, or if it was because he had actually personally seen the white deer. Deer. Lu Fei nodded and continued, the nine-colored deer resides in the Majao caves, and once every 10 years, when the Corpse Ghost Army patrols Siwai, our final destination is the main hall of the Majao caves, where we pay our respects. What dreams do you all usually have? Hung Jun asked, curious. Though Hung Jun suddenly brought up a completely unrelated question, Li Jinglong didn't interrupt him. Amorigin was still to the side, thinking deeply, and not a moment later, Lu Su put down his bowl. He was also full. Amorigin then moved the pot away, switching it out for a kettle and a cake of tea. Li Jinglong set up a small table, and he began to make tea for the group to drink. All kinds of dreams, Lu Fei replied leisurely. Most of them are about our previous lives. The corpse ghosts that fell in battle are still considered the deceased, yet they do not enter the cycles of reincarnation of the heaven and earth veins. The only thing that gives them peace are matters of the past from when they were still living. Who were the two messengers? Li Jinglong then asked. One of them was the plague god, Lu Fei replied. The other seemed to be named Suanu, but I do not know what kind of Yao it had been originally. Only, I don't understand what powers they have to make me sink into a dreamscape, trapping me there for as long as a year without being able to escape. Amorigin murmured, the nine-colored deer, the nine-colored deer. You have the power of the reincarnated wolf god, right? Lu Fei asked, glancing at Amorigin. Amorigin replied, yes, and the person I'm looking for is precisely the white deer. But this white deer may not have the same origin as the nine-colored deer. The white deer you are searching for, Lu Fei responded, should be the nine-colored deer god. Amorigin's eyes widened as Lu Fei continued. Though the deer god has 9 colors, those 9 colors are only 9 tufts of fur on its body. Aside from those 9 tufts, its entire body is snowy white. Li Jinglong said to Amorigin, we are already only a short distance away. Do not be hasty, Amorigin. Amorigin knew that this was a serious matter, and though he was very worried, in the end he could only restrain his thoughts. Li Jinglong then said, since the Yao King can make you sink into dreams, then perhaps he's already gained control of the 9-colored deer. Indeed. Lu Fei put down the wine and took the cup of tea that Hung Jun handed him as he continued, if that is really the case, then things have become much more troublesome. Now that I think of it, it was only after their machinations failed that they forcefully trapped me and my kindred, leading us to carry out unrestrained slaughter in Hexi, killing all life wherever we went. They then called upon us corpse ghosts that fell in battle to make us fight their battles. As for Mara, Hung Jun remembered those words that Chongming and Qing Xiang hadn't finished that day when he left Yejin Palace. The Carpiao said, Mara's rebirth is approaching. If the Yao King holds the corpse ghost army in his grasp, then no one will be able to beat him. The rebirth of Mara is only a legend, Lu Fei responded, without even thinking about it. One cycle every 1,000 years. Last time Mara was reborn, even I wasn't there to see it. My king should know, but even after factoring in every possibility, hasn't it only been 900 years? It shouldn't be ahead of schedule by a whole 100 years. After they drank the tea, the people that Geshuhan had sent finally came, but Li Jinglong turned them all away. Their matters could wait until tomorrow. After all, his own people's troubles hadn't even been resolved yet. If that's the case, then I won't natter on, Li Jinglong said. I'd like to request that the great general stay here for the night, so that we may continue the discussion tomorrow. Lu Fei knew that the exorcists had things to discuss, so he readily agreed. The corpse ghosts didn't like to see the light of day, and Li Jinglong didn't want to startle the bystanders in the estate, so he gave him Emorigin's room to sleep in, while the four of them, he himself, Hung Jun, Emorigin, and Lu Su, slept in the room that had originally only had 2 beds. Everyone was completely exhausted, especially Li Jinglong and Hung Jun, but even more so, they couldn't resist the urge to chat. Emorigin let Lu Su sleep on the inside of the bed, while he himself lay on the outside, saying, "Now that we've gotten news, I must make a trip there as quickly as possible." Li Jinglong responded, "Emorigin, the 9-colored deer won't run away. This matter is a complicated one, and you must have a completely surefire plan before you go. There were too many mistakes made as we came to Hexi this time, and on the journey, all of the things we've stumbled into were by pure luck." Things were exactly as he said. If either of their 2 groups hadn't been here, Liangzhou City would have met its doom. In no time at all, it would have become a territory of the Yao King. It's exactly because of that this is a very serious matter, Emorigin said. Lu Fei's words were already extremely clear. The Yao King is using the white deer to control this group of corpse ghosts that fell in battle, gathering his forces to prepare for the rebirth of Mara. If we don't find the white deer quickly, you think you can beat Lu Fei's higher-ups? Li Jinglong shot back. Lu Su had already laid down, facing the wall. Hung Jun was sleepy beyond belief, and he murmured, "Are you going to let us sleep or not? If there's anything else, can't you talk about it tomorrow?" Li Jinglong and Emorigin had no other choice, so they stopped talking and each laid down to sleep. The next day, when Hung Jun opened his eyes, he saw that everyone else in the room had already left. The Carpiao, who had come out to wash up, informed him that Emorigin and Li Jinglong were currently discussing the matter of Yadan with Geshu Han. "Say, why do you think that even after saving so many people yesterday, I haven't gathered enough merits to turn into a dragon?" the Carpiao asked. "Turning into a human would do as well." Hung Jun also didn't know. Logically, the Carpiao worked hard for the exorcism department every time, so it must have gathered quite a lot of merits. Why wasn't there any reaction at all? Hung Jun replied, "Perhaps it's because you didn't do it yourself." The Carpiao grew melancholic again. On its own, how could it have the ability to save people? Hung Jun then added a few more nice words of comfort, agreeing that next time, as long as there was a chance for it to do good, he would definitely let it take the lead. As they were speaking, Li Jinglong and Emorigin had finished their meeting and rushed over from the corridor. Li Jinglong then asked Emorigin, "Any arrangements for that kid?" Emorigin glanced at Hung Jun, who was standing in the courtyard listening. As it turned out, when they were meeting with Geshu Han, Li Jinglong had specially sought out that guard who had mocked Lu Su as being an idiot and had gotten into a conflict with the rest of them. It was only then that they learned that Lu Su hadn't been scared silly, but had rather been born that way. It was only because he saw the corpse ghosts pillage those cities that he was acting so flighty in response. Lu Su's father was a Shui Wei person, and his mother was an Uyghur. As he grew up, he didn't understand anything, so the only thing he had really practiced was his physical skills. He could run very fast. With that, his father brought him down through Yumen Pass, with the intent of finding him a position as a courier. When he was 12, he was taken in by the Yumen Pass commander Lu Naisun, and when he grew older, he joined the scouts and was put in charge of passing messages between the armies as they traveled. With that, Lu Su was always running around, so his speed grew even faster. Afterwards, he learned a few self-defense techniques. Just as he and Lu Naisun were called back to Guanyi, he coincidentally ran into this disaster. Ever since he was small, Lu Su could only remember his surname, Li Jinglong said. "What he keeps saying is Lu. Told you were mistaken." Emorigin shook his head, a bitter smile on his face as he was a little at a loss. At this time, Lu Su walked over from the side, through the garden, his expression suspicious as he stood there, looking at the 3 of them. Hung Jun liked Lu Su a lot, so he waved a hand at him, saying, "Lu Su, come, I'll take you to eat some good food." Lu Su first looked at Li Jinglong, before he then looked to Emorigen. "What are you planning on doing?" Li Jinglong asked him again. Emorigen pondered silently for a moment, before finally saying, "Oh well, I'll listen to Zhenshi." He lifted his gaze to look at Li Jinglong, who nodded once with good grace, before patting his shoulder. Hung Jun asked curiously, "What are you two talking about?" "I'll take you to eat something good," Li Jinglong said to Hung Jun, before taking the initiative and leading him away. "Lu Su," Emorigen said, beckoning towards him as he smiled. "Come." Lu Su looked at Hung Jun, who was leaving, before looking at Emorigen, then saying, "Li Mingxing." With a leap, Emorigen rose into the air, landing in a crouch on the railings on the outside of the corridor. Lu Su smiled at that and sat down by his side. "These past few days, I've given you a lot of trouble." Emorigen reached out a hand and hugged Lu Su around the shoulders as he watched the bright sunlight in the yard, saying, "Zhenshi told me that when I was ill, you were the one who took care of me the entire time." "Hung Jun," Lu Su replied. Emorigen smiled as he waved his hand. It was as if he was a little embarrassed as he said, "Hung Jun curing my illness for me was a given, since everyone agreed to put their lives on the line together, we're all brothers." And saying that, he ducked his head, one hand scratching the back of it like a wolf currently deep in thought. When Lu Su heard those words, his expression grew a little stiff, and he turned his head to appraise Emorigen. "We are exorcists," Emorigen said. "We're from Chang'an. Before, the people outside the Great Wall called me Li Mingxing, which was a name I came up with to fool around under after I left home, because I had always wanted to be a hero of the people." Lu Su looked Emorigen up and down. Today, Emorigen had changed into a dark blue martial robe and was wrapped up in a mink cloak. He was wearing a hat on top of all of this, making him look handsome and poised. Lu Su reached a hand out into his cloak, stroking the fabric of that robe. "Hung Jun," Lu Su repeated. "Yes," Emorigen nodded. "What they're wearing today is also this set. It's the official uniform of our exorcism department." Li Jinglong and Hung Jun were both wearing the exorcism department uniforms. After leaving the general's estate, the two of them first strolled around the military barracks, where they saw that all of the soldiers had already recovered. When they then went to Qin Liang's residence, Qin Xian and her mother, in an even greater gesture of thanks, wanted them to stay for a meal. Hung Jun could only hurriedly make his goodbyes, before he and Li Jinglong came to a restaurant in the middle of the city. The eateries here were known for their northeastern cuisine, and there was even roasted whole lamb, which wasn't a common dish. Li Jinglong ordered some food and said, "At last, we can have a good rest. What about the rest of the stuff? What will we do?" Hung Jun, however, began to grow worried. The problem of the corpse ghost army wasn't yet solved, and it also related to an even vaguer problem that Chongming and Qingxiang had brought up a long time ago: the rebirth of Mara. Li Jinglong knew that Hung Jun felt sympathetic towards those of the Yao tribe. Ever since the Fox Yao case, most of the time, as soon as he saw Yao, he would try to get oddly close. Perhaps it was because of their blood ties, but either way, that wasn't something he could control. "This morning, I already discussed things with Lu Fei," Li Jinglong replied. "I had him go back first to gather news, and to communicate with us at any time. Otherwise, if we do end up fighting, no way will we be able to hold up against their tens of thousands of troops." "You're waiting for helpers?" "Correct. After Qiu Yangxi and Atai get here, we'll cooperate with each other and mobilize in unison. Let Lu Fei first find his immediate boss, that true Ghost King, before we make our attack and approach, so that Emorigen can wake him up. Finally, we'll all together defeat the plague god that Zhang Hao has turned into, along with the other Yao that has yet to reveal its face. Aside from these, I also had old General Geshuhan increase the defenses of all of the large cities in Hexi and bring the villagers of nearby regions into the city. When Hung Jun heard those words, he knew that Li Jinglong had already set everything up, and he no longer worried. Li Jinglong then said, "We must first get rid of this big calamity that is the true Ghost King before we can go with Emorajin to find the nine-colored deer." Hung Jun ed, before asking, "Will Lu Su come with us too?" "He won't," Li Jinglong replied. "Being an exorcist is too dangerous. Plus, that child doesn't have any artifacts, and all he can do is run faster than normal. Before, I had no other choice, but now, Hung Jun, if you really are looking out for him, then you have to make sure to not drag him into this." In the general's estate, Emorajin and Lu Su bathed in the sunlight. Emorajin reached a hand out to stroke his head, saying, "On this journey, thank you for keeping me company, Lu Su." Lu Su lowered his head, as if he was thinking about something. Emorajin then said, "After this, I must go to the Majao caves to find the nine-colored deer. It's very dangerous there, not somewhere you can follow me to." Lu Su's head shot up, a surprised look in his eyes. He stood up, watching Emorajin quietly. "Zhenji and Great General Geshuhan have already discussed it thoroughly," Emorajin explained. "You can stay in the army, serving as a scout as you were before." Lu Su. Lu Su turned around and left. Emorajin sensed that Lu Su perhaps didn't want to leave him, so he caught up with rapid steps, following behind Lu Su as he said earnestly, "You don't have any mana, and you're immortal. You can't." Lu Su increased his pace, and Emorajin hurried to take large strides to catch up, saying, "Lu Su." Lu Su turned around, a faint trace of anger written on his face by the slant of his eyebrows, but he didn't speak. In that instant, Emorajin suddenly felt that parting was a little unbearable. From under Jiao Pass to Liangzhou City, it had just been the two of them keeping each other company the entire way here. If he were to say there were no feelings there, that would be a lie. "Gege will come back to visit you, now behave," Emorajin said, a little crestfallen. Lu Su turned and ran. Emorajin sighed, and for a while, he felt very despondent. Leading their horses, Hung Jun and Li Jinglong slowly walked back to the estate. Li Jinglong said, "There's less than half a month until the new year, and I don't know if Atai and Yangtze will be able to rush over by then. Thankfully, Emorajin's still here, so this can be counted as a small reunion." Li Jinglong arrived at a way station in the city and sent out the letters for Atai and Qiu Yangtze, telling them about the situation here, as well as the rumors that they had heard about the Yao King and Mara, asking them to come as quickly as they could for support. Hung Jun also really wanted to send Xing Xiang a letter, but he didn't know where to send it to. Next time, if he had a chance, no matter what, he would make Xing Xiang leave him a way to send him letters. After noon, Li Jinglong returned once again to the general's estate to discuss the arrangements of the defenses with Geshuhan. On the way back, he said to Hung Jun, "After tiring ourselves out for so long, in a few days, I'll take you to go play around. What do you want to see?" When Hung Jun heard these long-anticipated words, he grew happy. He knew that after every large battle, Li Jinglong would undoubtedly grant them a vacation and take him to go play somewhere, and even if it was only the two of them, that didn't change. "I haven't decided yet." Hung Jun wondered if in this icy land where Liangzhou was, were there still brothels in the city? But without knowing why, he didn't seem to be too interested in brothels anymore. "Then you think over it carefully," Li Jinglong said. "In these next few days, as long as there are no emergency troop situations, then go take a vacation. As long as you don't leave Liangzhou City, anything goes." Hung Jun knew that although he himself and Emorajin could go on vacation, seeing Li Jinglong's situation, Zhenji would probably still be very busy. But Hung Jun hadn't learned how to train troops or run formations, so he couldn't help him with that. He replied, "I'll wait for you, all right." Li Jinglong then went to where Geshuhan was on his own, while Hung Jun passed through the courtyard to return to his room. Suddenly, from the rooftop came Emorigen's voice called Hung Jun. With a few steps, Hung Jun leapt up. As soon as the sun came out, the snow in the city had melted, and after 2 consecutive days of this, even the water on the rooftops had dried. The winter sunlight shone down warmly, and the people in the general's estate were taking this chance while the day was sunny to hang the blankets out in the sun. At some point, Emorigen had also moved out a few sets of blankets from his room and laid them out on the glazed tiles to air, while he, holding a straw in his mouth and with one foot propped up on the other, was lost in thought, eyes narrowed. Emorigen patted the space beside him, letting Hung Jun lie down there. Hung Jun asked, "Where's Lu Su?" Emorigen pulled out the stock and grinned. "You didn't fall in love with that brat, did you?" Hung Jun replied, "No way." Emorigen said, "Don't you always like those little foxes and whatnot?" To that, Hung Jun said, "I'm leaving." "Chat with me for a little while," Emorigen said. "After being apart for so long, didn't you miss me?" When Hung Jun looked at Emorigen, he seemed to be a little disconsolate. He suddenly remembered what Li Jinglong had said, and he guessed, maybe Emorigen had already sent Lu Su packing? Hung Jun also felt pretty disappointed. After all, they had fought side by side before, and there were friendly feelings there. "It's only been so long," Hung Jun said. "At most 1 month. With that, he laid down at Emorigen's side. "Li Mingxing, Hung Jun, Li Mingxing, Hung Jun." Emorigen narrowed his eyes, watching the circle of the pleasantly warm winter sun. That brat couldn't remember Zhenji's name. Hung Jun thought about Lu Su repeating the same thing over and over again, only knowing to call his name, and he suddenly asked, "What's a Li Mingxing?" A little bit of red suddenly appeared on Emorigen's handsome face as he replied, "A nickname, don't ask any more." Hung Jun also stared up at the sun. The light of the winter sun was warm on him, and the blankets under him were soft and warm, reminding him of when he had laid on Chongming when he was small. "Emorigen," Hung Jun said. "Call me Gaig," Emorigen replied with a straight face. Hung Jun didn't feel like paying any attention to that, and he asked, "Have you ever thought about how you'll be like in the future?" "Emorigen, how come you're suddenly asking about this?" End chapter. Legend of Exorcism. Chapter 58. The Snow God Suanu. "I'm just a little." Hung Jun watched the large white clouds drift by in the sky as he replied, confused "I-hm." After thinking about it for a bit, Emorigen replied, "I need to find the white deer." "And after the white deer's been found?" Hung Jun asked. "After that." Emorigen, his head pillowed on his arm and eyes narrowed, enjoyed the warm winter sunlight as he murmured, "I'll take her as my wife, and when there are no more Yao or devils wreaking havoc on the divine land, I'll return to the Shiwei. To be the clan leader?" Hung Jun asked. "No," Emorigen replied, smiling. "The clan leader's position should be my second brother's. The Grey Wolf cannot be the clan leader. We'll live in the grasslands, hunting, herding sheep, and raising many children. When spring comes, I'll take them to race their horses freely on the grasslands. In the autumn, they'll go hunting and present the best kills to their own beloveds," he continued, still smiling. "After the children are all grown up, we'll also have grown old. Then, we'll watch the birds fly over Lake Hulun while waiting for the first snowfall of winter. We will protect the dreams of the Shiwei in the winter, the dreams of the Han people, the dreams of the Simu people, the dreams of everyone on this earth." "But you haven't even seen the white deer's face," Hung Jun pointed out. "She must be a very beautiful girl," Emorigen replied. "You two will be just like the old general and his wife?" Hung Jun asked. "That's right." Emorigen began to smile. "Hung Jun, but you two haven't even met." "What if, She's not the same as what you've imagined. What if you don't love her? What if she doesn't love you? Origin. The Shi Wei people had passed down a legend through the ages. The Grey Wolf and the White Deer were the two great protector gods of the White Day and the Black Night, and the youth born with the power of the Grey Wolf was destined, after his birth, to be the companion of the White Deer. Origin had never thought about this problem before, and after searching his thoughts for a long while, he said firmly, "That's impossible." Hung Jun didn't persist either. All he did was point out this question, but Origin's vision of his future filled his heart. Li Jinglong was currently discussing how to cycle their defenses with Geshu Han. After several large battles, along with what Lu Fei had told them, the path that the corpse ghosts had taken to invade had finally become clear to them. From Yadan to Yumen Pass, they circled around Dunhuang in Shazhu, where they had split into two groups. One group had taken the northern path, following along the outside of the Han Great Wall down south, passing through Wulin, Suchao, and three other similar small county capitals, purposefully avoiding the various locations the troops were stationed in. The other group followed the Kilian Mountains down south, passing through and ransacking countless small villages. Finally, the two groups rejoined outside of Liangzhou city, circling the city, only for their encirclement to be broken through in one go by Li Jinglong and Hung Jun. The corpse ghost army fell into disorder and left their position outside the city, now once again heading north. Two people, Geshu Han said, shaking his head from disbelief, broke through a 10,000-strong army just like that. To be accurate, Li Jinglong replied, it was 3 people, and a fish on top of that. Upon entering the room, Hung Jun saw that Li Jinglong was currently discussing the map with various commanding officers. Li Jinglong sent him a glance, indicating that he should come over to his side. Hung Jun followed up with, we only come in handy against Yaoguai. If we're fighting mortals, we can't do much. Geshu Han looked appraisingly at him, saying, now that I think about it, it really is fortunate that that day, this old man didn't manage to catch you. Otherwise, when it came time to cross swords with that corpse ghost king, this old man might not have been able to take one hit of yours. As soon as Li Jinglong heard that, he knew that Geshu Han held some reservations in his heart. In accordance with the Emperor and Crown Prince's commands, he replied readily, the exorcism department has our own constraints. If we disregard keeping lives safe and take part in the battles of mortals, then we will call down heavenly thunder upon ourselves and be doomed eternally beyond redemption. The expression on Geshu Han's face slowly grew warm again. He then asked, then protecting your home and country by fighting off the Uyghur and Turkish armies is also not allowed? Not allowed, Li Jinglong responded without even thinking. With that, Geshu Han finally nodded slightly. He replied, then, the duty of chasing after the corpse ghost army and the Yaoguai Zhonghao falls upon your shoulders. Li Jinglong nodded, and he and Hung Jun both cupped their hands and bid their farewells. After walking out, Hung Jun asked, why don't I recall that we had such a saying? I lied to him, Li Jinglong replied nonchalantly. Liangzhou city has already sent out scouts to follow them. Hung Jun's heart thumped, and he asked, have they found out what became of them? Li Jinglong replied, a blizzard sprang up along the way, so they lost track of them. A feeling of foreboding dimly came to life in Hung Jun's heart as he asked, a blizzard? Li Jinglong said, the corners of his mouth quirking up slightly as he watched Hung Jun. A blizzard. He then looked out past the corridor at the warm, all-encompassing sunlight that shone down on the vast land, and remarked, every time the corpse ghost army appears, they're always accompanied by extremely chill and snowstorms. Do you think this is by chance, or is it inevitable? Hung Jun found that he could already slowly follow along with Li Jinglong's thoughts. Let's go check. Li Jinglong asked. If on the off chance we can actually find the true form of another great Yaoguai, then we'll definitely be able to spare ourselves a lot of effort in the future. With that, Hung Jun hurried back to his own room, spreading open the book that Qing Xiang had given him. As the saying went, if you know yourself and your enemy, you can win 100 battles without defeat. Before, it was precisely because Li Jinglong had been unprepared and had suffered because of the nine-tailed heavenly fox that everyone had befallen such pathetic circumstances. This time, they could not let their guards down so easily. Look at this page, Li Jinglong said. That book had seen quite a few years already, and the edges of the pages were worn and ragged from being flipped through. It was clear that this was also something that Direnja had left, because at the front of the book were listed some small underling Yaoguai, but the further in they went, the stronger they grew. Those that were framed with black ink meant that they had already been exorcised, but those circled with red ink were dangerous. This book seemed to have pretty detailed records, it was just that there were too many missing pages. Before, the page about the nine-tailed heavenly fox had already gone missing. The pages on the sons of the dragon were still there, but 3 of them had already been taken care of. For those, Hung Jun marked each of them off as already exorcised, and when he flipped ahead again, he found the records of a Yaoguai named Suanu. Her sleeves were long and flowing, and her face had been blacked out entirely with ink. There is the snow god to the northwest, who lives at the summit of the Kilian Mountains. Hung Jun saw that the pages that were missing weren't too distant from each other, and the corpse ghost king seemed to also have 3 pages, but that entry was already fragmented. It's not as strong as the nine-tailed heavenly fox, Li Jinglong said. But its weak points aren't listed, Hung Jun replied. Even Direnja hasn't seen many of these Yaoguai before. Cold air, Li Jinglong replied. We have to make preparations to cold-proof ourselves. Let's look a little further ahead. The plague god. Hung Jun found that monster that looked like a pile of sludge. He hadn't expected that this book would contain it as well. The 2 of them squeezed together, reading that book. In it, there were records of the extreme danger that the plague god posed to mortals. It could swallow any body of flesh and blood to strengthen itself, and it could spread the plague. The illness that the old madam caught was exactly this, Li Jinglong said. If the amount of miasma that has been inhaled is not much, then it can be cured through the use of cold water elixirs. Hung Jun replied, normal doctors all know how to make them, and the old madam's condition has already stabilized. Aside from this, the plague god is extremely weak, Li Jinglong said. My heart lamp is not afraid of it, and you have Yao energy. All we'll need to do is grab shovels and surround it to beat it up, so our main focus is still Suanu. When Hung Jun thought of Li Jinglong's heart lamp, he moved to undo his robes. Li Jinglong didn't flinch from him either, allowing him to undo them, revealing the sigil over his left chest. There's still magic in it, Hung Jun replied. How could it be depleted so quickly? Li Jinglong replied easily. If I really do start feeling discomfort, I'll go find you. It just doesn't look very good, Hung Jun said after studying it for a long while. Li Jinglong then put his robe back on and rose, saying, I'm going out to take care of something, you wait here and think some more. Hung Jun. Hung Jun wasn't very afraid of any snow Yaoguai, because after all, he had the flame magic of the phoenix on him. If Lu Fei's words were true, then the plague god was probably fleeing back to Yadan to meet up with Suanu again, and they were probably thinking about how to get their revenge right now. And to get from here to Yadan, it would have to pass through Shazhu, Huazhu, and keep heading north. Outside, it was already nearing dusk when suddenly he heard the sound of battle armor clanking. Lu Fei slowly strode over, asking Hung Jun, where's that brother of yours? Hung Jun hurried to rise and greet him, but Lu Fei waved his hand. I've received the scouts' reports, I'm heading back right now. I'll go find Zenji for you first, Hung Jun hurried to say in response. It's difficult for me to speak for him. I'm just telling you in passing, Lu Fei responded, his tone as light as a breeze. He hefted the wind sword that Li Jinglong had returned to him as he continued. The corpse ghost army is still my matter, and I must be the one to resolve it. I cannot bring you all any more trouble. And saying this, Lu Fei turned to leave. Hung Jun was afraid that he would walk the entire way there, but Lu Fei replied, there are still quite a few horses that were killed in the battle. I'll go call up a horse, and that will do. The wind outside the city is strong when night is falling, so you do not need to see me off. Hung Jun didn't keep him either, so he could only watch him leave from the back gates of the manor. All Lu Fei asked for was some wine that he hadn't finished drinking from last night, and with one hand carrying the wine, the other carrying his helmet, he left. Hung Jun shouted from afar, "You're all right, ba." Under the light of the sunset, Lu Fei waved his hand at Hung Jun. At that time, Hung Jun's thoughts were slow, and he hadn't noticed that lonely, solitary general's emotions. When he sat back down inside the hall, however, the more he thought about it, the more it felt wrong. He thought, Lu Fei wouldn't go back like this just to die, right? But hadn't he died a long time ago? Is there any way to actually kill Lu Fei? He didn't have any of his men anymore either, so what was Lu Fei going to do to regain control over them? Use the wind sword in his hand? Hung Jun was not very certain that Lu Fei would be able to take back control, and even if he had 50,000 troops at hand, would he be able to beat that immediate superior of his? The more Hung Jun thought about it, the more dangerous it seemed. At this time, Lu Su came again. "Hung Jun," Lu Su said. He scooted over to let Lu Su sit down, and he reached out and patted him. He liked Lu Su a lot. 1. Because when Emorigin was ill, Lu Su basically didn't take even a single step away from him as he took care of him. 2. Because Lu Su only knew how to say Li Mingxing and Hung Jun. Though they had known each other for less than 10 days, Lu Su had already called for him by name multiple times. Ever since he was young, even Chongming usually just said whatever he had to say, he hadn't called out for him repeatedly so many times. "Are you hungry?" Hung Jun asked. Lu Su shook his head. From the looks of it, he had just bathed, and he kept trying to dig out the water in his ear. "Let me clean out your ears, ba," Hung Jun said. With that, Lu Su laid down horizontally, pillowing his head in Hung Jun's lap. Hung Jun picked up a short slender rod and wrapped one end in a soft cloth as he went to clean out Lu Su's ears. As he dug, Lu Su began to shiver. Hung Jun grew pleased, and he said, "It feels nice, ba. Ching Xiang loves it when I clean out his ears for him." As he spoke, he suddenly felt a wetness on his knee. Lu Su was actually sobbing and crying. "What's wrong?" Hung Jun hurriedly had him sit up as he asked, "Lu Su, are you all right?" Lu Su rose and left the hall. Hung Jun called after him, "There's still the other ear." Lu Su turned his head back and gave him a glance. That glance held sorrow and melancholy, and Hung Jun stared speechless at Lu Su. He wanted to ask about the reason, but Lu Su couldn't speak at all. Even if he was asked, he could only respond with simple words. "Wait for a bit," Hung Jun said. "I'll go find Emorigin." But Lu Su turned and left the hall instead, heading along the long corridor back to his room. With swift steps, Hung Jun hurried out to find Emorigin, but in this large general's estate, he couldn't find him. When he turned his head back to look for Lu Su had also disappeared. "Lu Su! Lu Su!" Hung Jun wrapped his outer robe around him and went out. He asked a guard, but that guard told him that scout had already left the manor. The Carpio was currently sitting in the corridor soaking its feet, and Hung Jun grabbed it with one hand as he went by, stuffing it into his bag and hastily tying a quick knot before rushing out. "Hung Jun! What are you doing now?" the Carpio shouted. Lu Su ran away. "Damn! We have to quickly get someone to give Li Jinglong the news." I'll go." But Hung Jun didn't let the Carpio leave at all, and he took it with him as he mounted his horse to go find Lu Su. The Carpio bounced and jolted on Hung Jun's back, and it wailed piteously for mercy. "Spare me, ba." In the military camp, the lamps shone brightly. Li Jinglong, his upper body bare, sat in one of the barracks. Morrigan stood to one side, watching a tattoo master doing his work. At this time, it was popular amongst the Tang troops to get tattoos, and these soldiers often got symbols of their squad, their own protector gods, or other popular drawings tattooed on their backs or upper arms. First, it was so that they had their gods protecting them, and second, it was because if they died in battle and lost their wooden tallies, their comrades would still be able to identify their bodies. The pattern was evidently complicated, as the master had been at it for almost a whole session, and the area was also very small. It was situated exactly on that sigil on Li Jinglong's chest. Morrigan watched for a long while, before asking, how did you manage to keep our skin so clean? Li Jinglong replied, back then, I didn't like tattoos, and I greatly cherished my skin. Now though, I already have scars, so I really won't miss this one patch. Morrigan smiled. Why do I feel like there's another meaning? Don't speak nonsense, Li Jinglong replied easily. Those strange things that Hung Jun learned from who knows where, weren't they all because of you all teaching him such rubbish things? Morrigan pulled over a wooden block, saying, tattoo one for me as well. And saying this, he handed that leather carving in his hand to the tattoo master, adding, this one ba. Finishing up with the left side of Li Jinglong's chest, the tattoo master said, for the next 5 days, be a little more careful, and make sure it doesn't touch water. With that, he changed out a few of the needles and baked them over the fire as he selected some colors. Morrigan undid his outer robe, revealing his arms and his shoulders, telling the master to tattoo it on his arm. Li Jinglong picked up that deer and studied it for a moment, before asking, you carved this? Lu Su did, Morrigan replied. Li Jinglong. Morrigan. Li Jinglong thought deeply for a moment, before saying, the Lu that Lu Su said was something that you mistook. He was only constantly reminding himself of his own surname. Morrigan nodded, but Li Jinglong pinched that deer skin carving between 2 fingers, asking, then, how do you explain this thing? Morrigan's eyes immediately widened. He had come to a realization, and now he moved to rise, but Li Jinglong pressed him back down, indicating that he sit. The artist had just begun, and he could go after the tattoo was done. There's a question that I've been wanting to ask for a long time. Is the power of the Grey Wolf passed down through bloodlines or through reincarnation? Li Jinglong faced the mirror in front of him, studying the tattoo that had just been done on his own chest. Almost as an afterthought, he used his fingers to drum the tabletop. Morrigan sank into deep thought. Li Jinglong shot him a glance, saying, don't take offense. If it's not convenient for you to tell me, that's fine. I've made a promise with every member of the exorcism department. I'm willing to help Atai regain his country, to help Chiu Yangsi find his black Xiao, and I am also willing to help you find your white deer. Morrigan hurried to explain. No, Zenshi, everyone here is like my family, there's definitely nothing too inconvenient to say. It's just that even I myself, am not entirely clear on that. Li Jinglong nodded and smiled. Though my strength is inadequate, but sometimes, when I do want to help out, I may not be able to actually provide much assistance at all. At that, Morrigan actually smiled. After even just 3 days of not seeing each other, I however see you in a different light. Hung Jun has changed you greatly, Zenshi. Li Jinglong's face was tinged a light pink as he replied, don't talk about these unimportant trifles. Is it passed down through the bloodlines or via reincarnation? It might be reincarnation, Morrigan said. The elders in the clan said before that this shape-shifting power doesn't appear in every generation. Sometimes, it'll be 100, or even hundreds of years, before it is reborn. Does that refer to being reborn in the clan? Li Jinglong asked, his eyebrows rising. Morrigan furrowed his brow, thinking about it. In the end, he said, rumor has it that all of the reincarnations were within the Shiwei tribe. Li Jinglong asked, it's definitely a girl. Amorigin replied, according to historical records, they were all girls. Li Jinglong pondered deeply, before saying, then when the grey wolf isn't reincarnated in human form, what form does it take, and where does it appear? This stumped Amorigin. This was a question that he had never considered before, but Li Jinglong's train of thought was well founded, since the grey wolf and white deer's reincarnations appeared every few hundred years, each of them choosing new bodies to be born into, then logically they should have their own temple, or perhaps it was that each had their own, and when they had nothing to do, they would stay within their temples. Only with this could things be explained. Let's imagine that the power of the grey wolf and the white deer are usually in a wall painting when they're not being reincarnated, Li Jinglong said, his long, slender fingers toying with that deerskin carving, flipping it over and over. When Mara is about to be reborn, they each go search for a family to reincarnate into. This makes sense. Ba. Amorigin said slowly, that is a guess. Li Jinglong responded, the power of the grey wolf went to your family and entered your body, which is when you gained remarkable divine powers. Yes, Amorigin said, nodding. Li Jinglong continued. Let's say that the power of the white deer also went to a family, but the transfer was severed by the Yaogwai that had waited for a long time just for this moment. Amorigin. Li Jinglong, I don't know if this fulfills our hypothesis, because I know relatively little about everything Yaogwai and demon related, but when I was small, I heard old men telling stories about rebirths and reincarnations. Amorigin murmured, if the white deer was interrupted in the process of rebirth and taken away. Greatly shaken, he exchanged a glance with Li Jinglong. Li Jinglong said, the old men said too, that if the process of rebirth was interrupted in the middle and the 307 po thrown into disarray, the person would. The tattoo master had finished. Amorigin hurriedly pulled on his outer robe, and after paying he rushed out. Li Jinglong chased after him, saying, stop. Lu Fei might know, he added. Let's go find him first to ask him for evidence. Go. The two of them raced back to the estate on their horses. At this time, Hung Jun was searching for Lu Su everywhere and had already arrived at the city gates. When he asked the soldiers, he learned that, as expected, Lu Su had left the city. Where was he going? Hung Jun dispatched someone to find Li Jinglong and Amorigin and report the situation to them as he rushed out in pursuit. The sky was dark, and he couldn't see anything. The footprints on the ground were haphazard, but he coincidentally managed to run into a group of patrolling soldiers, who had seen a white-robed scout on foot racing towards the northeast, and he had already left the region surrounding Liangzhou city. Where did Lu Su go? The Carpiao shouted loudly. It must be that Amorigin did that to him and then didn't want to take responsibility, so he ran away. Hung Jun, my feet are so cold, they're going to get frostbite. Quick! Hung Jun's horse raced away swiftly like the wind, leaping over a small creek. With a few motions, he wrapped the Carpiao up well, rushing away like a gust of wind. At the same time, Li Jinglong and Amorigin returned to the general's estate. They first went to find Lu Fei, only for the soldiers to inform them that Lu Fei had already left. He left? Amorigin cried. Li Jinglong indicated that that was all right. Today morning, Lu Fei had found him to ask for his sword back, so Li Jinglong knew that he was definitely going to return to take back his own troops. What about Lu Su? Amorigin hurried to find Lu Su. The two of them went inside the rooms to search, only to come up empty-handed. Amorigin went out to ask, only to learn that Lu Su had also left. He left. Impossible. It's all my fault. Amorigin immediately moved to get his horse and find him. Li Jinglong replied, don't panic, calm down. As Amorigin mounted his horse, he said, if the one who ran off was Hung Jun, I don't believe that you'd be able to be calm. Hung Jun hasn't run off. Li Jinglong insisted. Let's first find him and figure out the details. The two of them then went to find Hung Jun. To their inquiry, a soldier replied, Master Kong? He went chasing after that idiot, they both left. Don't panic. Now, Amorigin had calmed down, and he continued, Hung Jun's abilities are strong, and since he's already gone chasing after him, Lu Su shouldn't have run very far. All we need to do is. Without another word, Li Jinglong rushed to the backyard and mounted his horse, leaving Amorigin behind in the dust in the blink of an eye. Amorigin roared angrily, Wait for me. End chapter.